The man reincarnated as the strongest 8-star summoner, but ended up as a servant in a lord's manor. Eager to grow stronger quickly, the protagonist decides to hunt monsters in the wild on his own. With his summoning abilities, he is an army of one. Although he can currently only summon E-rank monsters, with the help of enhancement skills, they can hold their own even against D-ranks. Among all the monsters, the eagle is the best at scouting for information, so the protagonist first sends it out to search for nearby monsters. Soon, it finds 5 D-rank goblins. Without any hesitation, the protagonist immediately summons 10 tigers, which have the highest attack power. Although the tigers perform remarkably well, their low defense means they can be taken down in one hit. Seeing this, the protagonist promptly summons butterflies with control skills. The powder they release can put enemies to sleep. With perfect coordination, the 5 goblins are easily slain, though the protagonist only gains 1,000 experience points. This method is highly efficient. By the end of the day, almost all goblins within a 3-kilometer radius have been wiped out by him, and his level has risen to 9. At this rate, shedding his servant status is just around the corner. The next day, no one knows what he did. On the surface, the protagonist remains a mere butler, but in secret, he is rapidly building up his strength. A month passes, and he has hunted 4 times in total, reaching level 12. But no matter how much the protagonist tries to avoid drawing attention, the Lord still discovers his unusual activities. To avoid revealing his true strength, the protagonist simply says he has been hunting monsters, without specifying which kind. The Lord doesn't suspect much. After all, the protagonist's father was an excellent hunter. He assumes the protagonist is just hunting low-level rabbits. So, he tells the protagonist he no longer needs to hide it, and offers to buy each magic rabbit he hunts for 1 silver coin. Relieved, the protagonist relaxes, to avoid raising the Lord's suspicions. From then on, besides hunting goblins, the protagonist must also specifically take down some magic rabbits. But this time, something unexpected happens. The eagle, which was supposed to search for monsters within the 3-kilometer range, instead leads the protagonist beyond it. Upon arriving at the destination, the protagonist finds an adventurer squad under attack by goblins. He immediately rushes to their aid. Since the protagonist cannot reveal his identity as a summoner to others yet, he has to fight alone. Fortunately, with his level 12 stats, taking on goblins solo is no problem. After single-handedly dealing with 3 goblins, the last one is taken down by another adventurer. Learning that the squad leader is seriously injured, the protagonist pretends to have some medicinal herbs with him, and secretly summons a grass-type monster with healing abilities. He intends to give him simple treatment, but in just 2 seconds, the wound is completely healed. Outwardly calm, the protagonist is actually afraid of being questioned and plans to flee. But unexpectedly, the 3 are considerate enough to voluntarily promise not to reveal anything. As a token of gratitude, they want to repay the protagonist. Remembering he needs some magic rabbits to give to the Lord, the protagonist asks them to collect some for him, and agrees to meet again in a week. After parting ways with them, the protagonist immediately summons the eagle. He is very curious as to why it disobeyed his orders. Could it be that it wanted to rescue those adventurers? The eagle nods. It is then that the protagonist realizes these summoned creatures possess intelligence. But this is a good thing, meaning their communication can be much more flexible.